What's up guys, LeopoldTheBrave here for a different kind of video. Now a while back, I did a video on a Punch-Out theory I came up with. That wasn't really a theory, more of a headcanon, but either way it still did very well, and so I figured why not give this theory thing a shot for another series I care a ton about, Crash Bandicoot. So here we are. I'm sure one of the biggest questions we all had growing up with the series is, who the heck is Coco? Where did she come from? I mean, obviously on the development side, Coco was a replacement for Tawna because Naughty Dog was afraid they'd receive complaints because Tawna was too hot. But when it comes to the story, nobody seems to have a clue. Has she been there in the first game and just been part of the background, or did she come in somewhere between Crash 1 and 2? Did she even go through the Evolve Array? Is she a mutant? And then more questions were raised as more outside characters joined the series. For the longest time, the only anthropomorphic animals we got were Crash, Coco, and the bosses, including Crunch. The rest were just regular animals. But then we get to Crash Twinsanity, which has the evil twins. And okay, they were altered by the conditions of the dimension they were sent to, that explains them, but then there's also that farmer dude. And then we get to tag team racing with Chick, Stu, Pasadena, and all of them. Then as the series continues to go on, more background characters like them show up. Viscount, Yaya Panda, etc. So what exactly is going on? Are all of these walking and talking characters mutants? Have they all gone through the Evolve Array as part of Cortex's experiments? And the extremely quick answer is a big fat no. As far as we know, Crash, Crunch, and a handful of bosses are the only mutants in the series. And there are plenty of surprisingly noticeable things that helped me come to this conclusion, aside from the fact that literally every character being a mutant is just ridiculous. The first piece of evidence actually comes from the first minute of the very first game. And we're actually bombarded with evidence within this first minute. And the first bit of this evidence is of course Crash himself. In the introduction cutscene, before he's sent up into the brainwashing vortex and before he's even zapped with the Evolve Array, we see that he is already anthropomorphic. Now this could easily be chalked up to technical limitations for the time, not wanting to make a whole nother model just for that tiny part in the cutscene, or perhaps they just couldn't. But the fact that they didn't even change it for the Insane Trilogy says a lot. The next piece of evidence is Tawna Bandicoot. She's already anthropomorphic before she's even quote-unquote prepared. I mean, the entire point of the game was saving her before Cortex experiments on her and brainwashes her. And the final bit of evidence in this first cutscene alone is Pinstripe Potoroo. In the cutscene, we see a bunch of animal cages lined up, including Bandicoot, Tiger, Koala, basically the bosses and characters from the game. But Potoroo is there as well, right after Bandicoot. Heck, even in the Insane Trilogy, we can see Pinstripe in there, his already anthropomorphic hands grabbing the bars, thumbs included. And we can see even further evidence from Pinstripe considering the timing of events and his boss battle. You see, since the characters are already anthropomorphic, the Evolve Array is clearly meant to enhance their speed, strength, and agility. However, Pinstripe was up after Crash, who had caused the machine to malfunction and break for a bit. So Pinstripe never got this enhanced superhuman strength and agility like Tiny and Koala Kong, which is why he relies on his Tommy gun for attacking Crash. In fact, this whole Pinstripe mini-theory checks out with other characters as well, like Dingodile. According to the Crash Bash manual, Dingodile was created by Nitrous Brio, with fusion techniques, rather than Cortex in his mutating Evolve Array. So with Dingodile not going through the Evolve Array, he also lacks that superhuman speed and strength, and has to rely on a weapon, his flamethrower. Once again, like Pinstripe and his Tommy gun. So if you look back at all the characters that actually went through the Evolve Array, like Ripperoo and Koala Kong, they fight Crash directly, while all the characters that didn't, Pinstripe and Dingodile, they use weapons. Even the Komodo Bros, another pair of Brio's henchmen, use swords. So with those extremely specific and detailed observations, along with the fact that many other characters have been introduced way past the Evolve Array's time, it should be pretty clear that not all of the anthropomorphic characters in the Crash Bandicoot series are mutants. They're just regular citizens of Crash's world. The only question remaining is, if Crash's universe is full of naturally born anthropomorphic characters, then why do regular animals like all the turtles and skunks still exist? And the simple answer is, they just do. The Crash Bandicoot universe is heavily inspired by the Sonic the Hedgehog universe. From the game itself having a vulgar Sonic-related project name, to the concept of having a relatively unknown and underappreciated animal as the protagonist, the Crash series is full of Sonic inspiration, and in the Sonic series, we have all these crazy, colorful anthropomorphic characters, but also in the series we have little piggies and little bunnies and little birdies that the universe calls flickies. But all in all, they're still just regular animals. They just simply coexist and there's no reason to question it. Same with the Crash Bandicoot universe. They can have cute-looking, accurately portrayed turtle and also human-shaped Coco Bandicoot without having to make her a mutant. So there you have it. Now you have the answer to why there are so many anthropomorphic characters in the Crash Bandicoot series. There just are. It's a fictional world and that's how it works. Let me know what other questions you want answered though, because I have plenty of other theories too, like how Aku Aku and Uka Uka came to be, or perhaps where entropy is from. But either way, hope you enjoyed. Leopold the Brave, out.